Welcome back. It is day 284 of a road to 2200. We are at 2071. Let's find an opponent. Found somebody who is 2078. And, okay, let's go. They're playing e4, so we have a trusty old Karo Khan here. Exchange variation Panov. Okay. The Panov is a tricky system. And they're playing knight g5, bishop g5. So I think here I'm just going to develop my knight. And I mean, if they capture, we can take back in some way. And if they take here, I can always just take with the queen if I want. Now, it's kind of a question of which pawn do we take with. Taking here makes sense. The only thing I'm kind of worried about maybe is some kind of check. But we should be fine. The idea of just, getting our bishop out, maybe applying some pressure. So yeah, I'm going to take away from the center, just opening up my bishop. Okay, I think this is already a mistake because I can take after queen or bishop takes. I take with the queen, queen takes, knight takes. I think we're just winning a pawn here. But I guess I have to consider, is d5 a move? So dc, e5, knight b4. Is there a check here? No, because I go bishop d7. So I should be able to just capture. And then after the queen moves, I should be able to just take, right? So takes, d5, check. I feel like that's what they're going to play. So the knight's here. I would kick the queen away. Queen back, protecting this. I have another attacker though. So I guess if knight takes, I can't really take back. I could also just bring my bishop out. Let's maybe do that. Let's just pin. Let's pin the knight. So now, we got lots of ideas. If check, bishop b6 should be fine. Here I can just take. But okay, they push through. So their king's in the center of the board. She tells me I should probably just castle and try to play her like rook b8. Rook b8. I can't speak, man. I can't speak. Rook e8. Let's get our bishop out. Let's pin this. Just improve our piece. And the bishop is a little bit misplaced here, I believe. But I can maybe start playing like b6. Trying to capture. So b6. If they ever kick my bishop, I'll just take. So let's start trying to pick away at these pawns. This usually in the Panov, if they play like this, I like to fianchetto my bishop and attack along this diagonal because this is a weak pawn. But that obviously didn't happen. Okay, they immediately come in and pin my knight. So I guess I can play like rook e7 here to protect and get out of the pin. Let's just go ahead and do that. Everything is still protected. And if they offer a trade, I will have to defend my knight again. Just a matter of in which manner. Oh, they just trade. Okay, let's take that. We have a really weird looking position here, to be honest. Okay. Can I like sack the rook? Oh, that's a fork. That is indeed a fork, isn't it? So I guess takes here, and then maybe I take here. We have to give up the rook. So yeah, let's take here. Let's give up the rook and try to play for like a damaged pawn structure. We definitely played this very, very incorrect. Queen takes. I could maybe tempo the queen. But takes seems very logical to me, threatening to just take the center pawn. So I'm going to capture here. I also had bishop takes, didn't I? Did I have bishop takes? Yeah, then rook here. Okay, so I can throw this in. Then they play here, though. Let's just bring the bishop back. We have a bishop for a rook. It's not the end of the world. It's not the best thing in the world, but not the end of the world. I want to take this pawn, and if pawn takes, bring my queen, or my rook takes here, then bring my rook. Attacking this would be my plan. I need to try and create some problems on the king side, I think. Now they can attack me, but I'll play bishop g6. Or do I want to go? Ooh, actually, wait. Yeah, we just reroute like this. Okay, that might have been a mistake because the way that a bishop can be worth a rook is getting it on a square, then it cannot be removed by any piece except for a rook. This is gonna be a monster bishop. They don't even go for it. This isn't really a threat at the moment. Maybe I should attack the queen though. Or take the pawn. One of the two moves. Seems to be the way. Here, no, they just go here. I don't want that. Let's start by capturing the pawn. Yeah, they take with the queen. And now bringing the rook seems logical, but they're going to capture. So maybe I just improve my pawns and try to play for like king g7 so I never get into any problems on the back rank here. Queen is offering a trade, which I kind of have to take, don't I? Otherwise I lose this pawn. Or I could go here. That is a move. It's not a move that I want to play. Rook can't go there though, so I guess maybe let's go here. We're still protecting the pawn. I would really like for them to push the pawn so I could put the bishop on e4 rather than putting it on c4, but I don't really have that luxury at the moment. Yeah, and now, I mean, we just protect here for sure. And then they're probably going to tempo me, I would assume. And they're trying to come in. I want to protect the pawn. I guess I can go here, and if it takes, I just take this. But they're gonna like infiltrate and try to attack this. Here. If takes, I just take. They can't come in. Okay, let's start by going here. I could always bring the rook to protect the mating ideas as well if needed. And then if they give me the option, maybe I'll play f5 if they decide to protect the pawns. Somehow. I don't know how they would do that, but I guess I have to... Okay, yeah, they do take there. So let's go ahead and capture. Let's capture this pawn rather than this one, because now this is weak, and this is not really that great, and this is also potentially a check, and it gives them opportunities to blunder. Rook in there. Ooh. Okay, well, we have to protect this. I don't really have a choice. I don't think you can play this, though. Okay, we have to protect the infiltration here using the bishop, which is unfortunate. I can't really move the queen off of the protection of this, so queen here is kind of like the only way. Let's just improve the pawns. You can sack the pawn. They're just going to start trying to push the pawns, probably. I might have to play h5 at some point. They like try to play like this, but I mean, it's going to be well met with something here. Yeah, queen goes there, so they're threatening maybe to sack the rook? I don't quite understand. I can't push the pawn because there's mate. Are they threatening this? Just takes? Yeah, that's not a threat. They're attacking my pawn. That's what they're doing. So I guess I can just play like queen back for now. Here takes. We should be able to just protect the pawn for the time being. Now if I could deflect this rook, there's check here and then nothing, but I just need to move. Let's try and win the pawn and then push. I have to have the bishop here though. I cannot allow rook e8 to come in. And now there's no threats of that. So actually, wait, can I go here? Wait, I think they blundered. No, because they have queen here, unfortunately. Let's just take the pawn. Oh, that's what they wanted. Okay, let's put our bishop up. We're still protecting this, so they can trade. I have this outside pass pawn that I'm going to play for, and I have a very powerful bishop. So yes, we are down the exchange, but I have a very slight compensation for it. I just need to stop rook here, which, how does that even happen? Okay, so if I were to take king up, how are they going to win this? Because my bishop protects everything. I just don't have to do anything. Bring the king. Push. I just need to move. Okay, just move. King up. Probably king back if they attack. Although I could try to escort the pawn, but I don't think I'm in any place to really try and call the shots here. Just need to move. These should cancel out this, and these 3 pawns should cancel out this. It's just a matter of, can I do this without calculation? Let's push. I'm just gonna take. Push. Just king back and forth maybe. But the king can infiltrate here, can't it? If I ever go back, king here. It's a little bit unpleasant. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go back and forth. Maybe they'll make a draw. I would actually be very, very happy with a draw here. I don't think they're going to. Yeah, they do just go back. And now, kind of like, what do I do? Oh, shoot. I lost the pawn. No, now we're definitely losing. King up. Shucks. Check. I think they're going to give me a check here. I just don't have any time. Yeah, they're going to start pushing. Oh, no. I have to now go after the pawn. Shoot. Yeah. Unfortunately, we massively blundered. They can just push because here there's that move. Take. Wait a second. Oh, I don't have any time. What am I doing? Yeah, they just win. GG. Shoot. I'll just resign. GG. That is very, very unfortunate. Now, I think there's a lot to learn, which is why we're going to go over, we're going to analyze this game on noctie.ai, and Noctie should, from this game, there should be a lot of errors. They should be able to give us some flashcards and try to really learn from our mistakes rather than our usual skim. So we're going to hop over there. All right, as you can see on screen, we are over on Noctie, and Noctie has created 4 exercises based on the mistakes that I've made. Now, I don't know if they're going to be from time travel or if it'll be throughout the actual game or not, but we're going to find out. Noctie thought that I played like an 1800 and my opponent played like a 1700, but we're the ones that lost, so now let's see. No, we're gonna actually go through the entire game, and then as we go, we'll look at the 4 exercises that Noctie has actually made for us to learn from. So opponent played e4. You already know we're gonna play the Carl Khan, and then apparently bishop g5 is already a mistake, and I play knight c6. And right here, so this is the first exercise. Noctie is saying that knight c6 is a mistake because now they can develop their knight. So let's go ahead and try and find a better move. My first instinct is to play knight e4, just trying to take advantage of the placement of this bishop. I don't think any checks really do anything, and I don't think taking the pawn is a good idea. So Yeah, okay. Knight there, forcing them to go back. And then if I go here, they're going to capture, takes, and then jump their knight out, but they can't. So what if I just develop? Okay, Noctie said that this line's okay, but there's a better move. So let's try again. Let's see. Once again, I don't really think check does much. E6 blocks in the bishop. I mean, maybe we could play like queen b6, trying to take advantage of this. But I don't think so. They'll just go here. Maybe there's something to queen a5 check. Bishop back, I would just take. Oh, let's see what he... okay, try again. I need a hint. Give me a hint. Oh, e5. That's something I was not even considering. e5. Striking in the center. This is a mess. This is not how I like to play my Karo Khan games. That is for sure. They develop their knights. But I guess, like, e5 does make a lot of sense. Like, striking in the center. If they take, there's maybe some... Like, instead of here, if they were to taken the pawn, or taken the pawn, then what? Interesting. So there's a threat on this pawn. There's a threat on everything. Can you, like, take the knight, takes, and then queen a5, bishop back. This is reminding me of, like, the Albin counter gambit style position. If I take, and they take with the queen, I can develop... No, then they just capture. To take is a mistake. I'm actually pretty stumped. This is making me think. Maybe I can bring my bishop out, just pinning, because then there's a threat of takes, and takes, so... Bishop out, yeah, that's the move. They defend. How can I put more pressure on the pinned piece? Well, queen coming out. Let's try again. I feel like now it's saying it wants us to, like, take or castle. Taking doesn't really make sense to me. Actually, takes, there's just queen here, threatening to just win a pawn. Oh, this is apparently completed now. But I think this does make a lot of sense. Okay, so we completed the first exercise. That, yeah. So instead of queen or knight here, we should have just kicked the bishop away, not giving them an opportunity to double their pawns for one. But I thought, you know, we go into this kind of Tartakower style, so be it. And then they captured, which was a mistake by my opponent. No, this is fine. By the way, if you're wondering what the colors are when they pop up, this is the color guide. Purple is excellent, blue is great, green is good, okay, and then dubious, bad move, and blunder. And I think there's no color. It just means, like, it's fine. Like that. I'm quite sure. Let's look. Yeah, I think it's just, I think that just means it's an okay move. And then they found a great move here with c5. You know, my bishop is now kind of misplaced, which I said in the video. However, I didn't want to, I don't know, bring the bishop back or do anything. I thought that this was all right. Castles, I pin the knight. And then I played rook to e8, which allowed my opponent to castle, which is what they did. And Noctie is now telling me to find a better move. So let's try and find a better move. First instinct, take the knight, takes. But, I mean, then what? And there's none of this. No. Is there a way we can stop them from castling here? I mean, the only way that I see is by like, taking the knight on f3 and then giving a check on e8. I mean, I guess I could take here, takes, and then bring my queen out with an attack on this. Maybe it's timed. Yeah, maybe that's the timing, because we are stopping them from castling immediately. Okay, so they bring the queen up. And this is the best variation, but then what? I want more. Let's look further. Can I take, go check? Yeah, okay, takes. And then what if I just give a check? And now the king's moving. Okay, so that's actually very interesting. Because if they go back, we can maybe sack? If the queen takes, then we would have a fork. So if the king stayed here and bishop blocked, I take, king takes. I mean, I'm getting my rook involved. King ends up back here. Maybe that's not so great. But okay, we found a better move rather than rook there first. We could have stopped them from castling by taking and then taking advantage of their weak pawn. But okay, we let them castle. And then we start trying to eat at the center. And they immediately took advantage of this one weak square and the weakness of this of the knights. And I defended in an excellent way. And they captured. And then this right here, not good. Not good at all. I kind of needed to take, and then this, and here. Yeah, I think I already said what I should have played. I think after takes, we should have took here. And then what? I mean, I can go back, or I can now take. Yeah, now we take. And if they take, there we can just slide our bishop back. I kind of figured that was the way, but however, we went for this, didn't win the pawn, and now we're just down a clean exchange. We trade, made room for the king, and we correctly did not trade queens. Queen up, and we just took the pawn. Rook comes in, we have to defend. Bishop b5 is a great move, just stopping rook e8 because that's what they were threatening. And then we start pushing the pawn. They push there, we attack. And then they trade. And this is actually a mistake. King up. This should be drawing, but at least I think it should be drawing. If I don't suck. I probably should have just I shouldn't have moved anything, I don't think. Rook here is a mistake. Yeah. We let them win the pawn. And then go back. And this check was not good. There's nothing they can do there. Oh, I missed. This is the exercise. I missed it. I was going too fast. Instead of king here, let's see. So we played king g6. Do we have a better move? Maybe king g7, stopping them from coming back. Yeah, just king g7. Because now we can start running the pawn, maybe? Like, what do you play? King g7, and then the rook is kind of misplaced. The pawn's protecting this, so if I were to go king g7, if they play here, the rook's completely trapped. King g7, if rook here threatening the pawn, I push, they take, I push, then they get, no, they can't get behind it either. So that I'm pushing. Wait a second. So if I went king g7 and they played rook f5, I push, they take, I push, they go here, I push, they come all the way back, I push, and then they have to be protecting this. Which gives me time to stop these pawns, I think, with my king. But maybe not, because they have two pawns and a king versus my one king. So maybe not, but yeah. Anyways, the game went on, and like, keep in mind, I'm under a minute. I can't calculate anything here. Now, let's see. Wondering if they have an evaluation bar. I'll have to ask them about that. I am curious to see what the evaluation would be right now. But yeah, there wasn't really too much here, I don't think, that I could do. And yeah, we just ran the king around. We didn't need to do that. We could have resigned, but you know how it be. You know how it be. So I am curious about the evaluation. So we're gonna actually jump back to chesscom, look at that real quick. But if you like Noctie and you want to try it out, go to their website. You can use some features for free, but if you really like it and you want to use it more and more and more to improve your chess, make sure you check out the description, use my link, and use code APEX to save 20% off. Now let's go back to chess.com. Okay, so we're back in here, and basically from the opening here, we were just better. Except here, this was the variation that we found on Noctie. Queen here. It kind of stops them from castling. Takes, check. And then king f1. Stockfish is saying that this is good, but from a human standpoint, which is what Noctie is, it doesn't matter what the computer says, because that's not how humans play. Noctie has actually trained over 1 billion human games, so it's more human-like, and it evaluated this as a good position for black, where Stockfish is saying, yeah, we'll just block in our rook and play king f1. We're fine. There's no problem. But from a human standpoint, this looks pretty appealing, to be honest. But after this, we actually apparently blundered. Because takes, and then, yeah, this was the point where we blundered. Takes, and here, once again, Noctie said that this is what we should have did, and went here, takes, and played back. So the evaluation was basically just winning for white the entire time. But what I was really curious about was if this was a drawing endgame, and it's not. But I thought that we should have some chances here. But we just don't. We don't have anything. Maybe we should have just sat. But like, maybe I should have just waited around here. They push the pawn. What if I just go back? What if I just go back and forth here? King comes in, I play back. They go here, I go back. Can they play king in? Back. Here. I mean, I can't really move a lot of things. And then it wants us to start doing this, and then they're going to create a pass pawn. So if I go back, they're going to start creating an outside pass pawn here. Fair enough. But okay. Let's wrap it up here. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to check out noctie.ai to help improve your chess. I'll see you tomorrow.